listening to Football Field Pass, the #1 podcast for Premier League and college football news, analysis, and more.
Hello, football fans. Welcome to Football Field Pass with me, Chris Lakis, and
the pride of the Bayou, Kevin Rasky. No, what's up, guys? How you doing? What's up, Chris?
I was gonna say Coach O is here with us tonight, but no. That's a negative. Hey guys,
that would be a negative.
Oh my god! Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh snap!
I'm rocking a little swagger today, man.
They are.
I got my little Bayou Bengals swag going on.
Swag with some shades.
Yeah, my Bayou Bengals swag. You know, because man, LSU look good this weekend, bro. I'm gonna get there. But I'm just hyped up about it. That's why I'm wearing these. How are you doing though, man? How are you doing?
Behind everything you just said is all the LSU fans are screaming at your door right now. So that's good. That's great. I'm doing well, man. But before we even get there, guys, this is a new format that we're doing. Yes. We are doing Football Field Pass, the Gridiron. So anybody who does not like the Premier League, this episode is just fully focused on college football.
We heard you guys. We listened to you.
We did.
Maybe you don't think we listened to you. We listened to you.
I think there's a specific person on my side named of Mr. T-Pain Price. Tyler, we got you. This is all about
on my side, down here in Southeast Louisiana. Sla. we heard you, Angel. We heard you. Shout out to you.
We heard you. You're not a troll. You're real. We want you to be real.
You are real. You're very real. I used to live down the street from you.
But this is a first episode on this side of the end, 5th episode for us completely. So this is the gridiron of college football.
Absolutely.
So, do you have your field pass, buddy?
I got my field pass.
Oh,
I have a field pass. But
how you been?
You're missing the hospitality, bro.
I know. How you been?
I want to sit in the box and eat the nice food and sip the champagne, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's right. I'm doing good, man. I knew you asked me a question. I'm doing really good. Busy weekend. I don't remember it. I worked.
Yes, you did a lot.
We had a escaped convict. If you remember that.
Yep.
Well, you wouldn't hear. This is my area, though.
I mean, I'm in the state of Louisiana, bro. It's always a danger stepping out your door.
Exactly. But I want to give it all to the first responders. I had a few first responders that I knew on the SWAT team. Thanks to you guys keeping our streets safe.
Thank you guys.
Thank
you to K9 units.
K9 units, SWAT team. Yep. You caught a bad guy. There's a bad guy. So,
but the good boys caught the bad guys.
The good boys, the good old boys got him. So shout out to T-Pain, who was one of them. So Tyler,
awesome,
thank you.
Way to go, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler, for all you do.
How about you, man? What's going on? How's the new baby?
Oh man, I am tired. I'm on that 2 to 3 hour waking eating cycle with my wife. My wife and I have this. We're probably gonna get demonetized anyway. My wife and I have this. This rule in our household, where she does the breast, I do the rest. So she takes care of the breastfeeding, I take care of the diapers and everything else that goes along with the woke baby. He's a woke.
You gotta be a pro about that now, aren't you? You're
exactly. I'm just dude, I have a whole system. I can get a kid's diaper changed like that, man.
2.5 faster than a Pit Crew Red Bull.
I'm about that fast, especially with a new baby boy, because he requires a little extra. Because a little got taken off the top. Wink, wink. So we have to deal with that as well. But no, for those of you who don't know, I have 4 kids. This is kid number 4.
400 kids. No, sure.
No, this is not that type of family.
Right.
We have 4 kids though, and sometimes it can feel like 400. We have 4 under 5. We're crazy, but we're crazy awesome. It's such a blessing. It's such a great house to have all these kids just do things every day that just I can't get over how awesome they are.
Totally agree, man.
Yep. Absolutely, man. So we're just hanging in there. Babies, the newborns asleep next door. The next youngest is asleep this way. Over that way, the other two are asleep.
Yep.
Everyone's asleep right now, man. It's great. This is the best time of the day. It's when we finally can get stuff done. It's when you actually catch up on cleaning the house.
And then we're dead by the time we get to 12 p.m. tomorrow. No.
Yep, exactly.
So, hey, did you get the field pass, brother?
I finally got my field pass. I finally got my field pass in the mail.
Did you get
a field pass? Here's something though, and we talked about this on the pitch already this week. We're working on some new merch for us and everything, some new stuff. I'm working on getting us actual laminated field passes that look like this sweet one right up here.
Do we have money for that?
We do have money for that. We have budget called Kevin money.
Oh, God, man.
Kevin money putting aside some fun money because this is a sick logo, guys. This is a fun logo. And we want to put that on some hats. We want to put that on some mugs. We want to put that on some t-shirts. If you are a loyal follower, you're subscribed to us, you're a fan, we want you to comment below with your favorite college football team.
Yep.
First one to do it by December 25th, by Christmas. Well, yeah, I'm feeling in the giving spirit. It's Christmas. Why not gift it?
Yep.
If you're the first one to put your name below, we'll reach out to you, comment your favorite college football team. You're going to get a sick hat with this logo on there.
Not so fast, my friend.
Okay, midget.
Not so fast. I should have put this on the Premier League one.
Yeah.
You got to subscribe and follow all of our social media and on Spotify to get that free stuff.
Yep. You must be helmet. You must be subscribed. You must be subscribed. You must be following us on
with Facebook, Instagram, X. I was going to say Xbox, X, and YouTube. And you have to like, subscribe, and comment, my friend, sweetheart.
Lee Corso over here, the guy who's trying to replace him.
Trying.
Pat McAfee's got that.
I think Pat McAfee's got it unlocked, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this may be Lee Corso's last year.
I know.
Yeah. They're probably going to prop him up on that stage.
Yeah, pretty much.
We can get into Bernie style. Anyway, man, let's grab our field passes.
Field pass.
Let's head on down to the field. Let's go into some college football news. The hottest news this week, bro. Mel Tucker, once the Michigan State darling of a head coach, was given one of the highest paid contracts in college football that a head coach could receive, and he fumbles, bro. Michigan State, after we talked about this a little bit last week within our all-encompassing old episode format. But we're going to talk about it as well today. Michigan State head coach Mel Tucker was caught having doing an inappropriate lewd act while on a phone call with someone, and who was a sexual assault advocate and survivor as well. Of all the people too, it's terrible, man. But he did something. He admitted to doing it. He said it was consensual, but the accuser says it was not consensual. The board met this week. They have given him officially their notice of their intention to fire for cause, which means he loses $80 million guaranteed. He gets none of it. This is sad because this is, again, another issue with sexual misconduct within the Michigan State collegiate program. And this makes me wonder, is this an institutional problem that will ever change? Is this something that's they've just made some bad hires? What's going on, Chris? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel bad for the players.
I really do.
That's all I gotta say. I'll be a little prime time about it. I feel bad for the kids.
It's all about the kids here, man. The kids, the players.
Because Dion's got something with that.
Yeah.
And it is always about the players. It is always about the kids. So my opinion is that, my opinion is I feel bad for the kids.
Yeah.
I feel bad for
and in the meantime, too, the good news is the coach that they've made the interim head coach is universally beloved by fans and players alike. Harlan Bennett. He's currently their secondary coach. He's going to serve as the interim head coach of the season. And then retired coaching legend for Michigan State, Mark D'Antonio, has come out of retirement to be a special associate head coach to provide consultation and assisting the staff in this transition. So he's going to be on the sideline helping as well. So they've got two steady hands on the wheel right now to help finish out the season. But it's hard to play through this with all that distraction. Another thing too is they got to start looking for a new head coach. And there's already names swirling in the pot. And it's week 3.
Who do you got? Who they got?
So the top candidates from the Las Vegas odds makers is there's some of the names being floated are Jonathan Smith, who's the current Oregon State head coach. We've got Mike Elko, who's the head coach at Duke. That's actually the hottest name that they're really floating right now is Mike Elko. Brian Hartline, who is the Ohio State offensive coordinator. Sean Lewis, Colorado's offensive coordinator, former Kent State head coach. Jim Leonard, former defensive coordinator for Wisconsin, current analyst for University of Illinois. Mike Tressel, the current Wisconsin defensive coordinator, who actually worked at Michigan State under Mike D'Antonio. He is actually what a lot of folks think is going to be the pick they go with. Some folks may say, like, hey, we need Mark D'Antonio to come out of retirement and coach the team again at 67 years old. Who knows? They've also talked about Jason Candle, who has been quietly building Toledo as their head coach for the past 9 years. Toledo's been slowly building into a MAC power. And then here's a really fun one. Bill O'Brien. I mean, I feel like any major head coaching job that comes open, Bill O'Brien, who is currently the New England Pats offensive coordinator, always gets floated as a potential coaching option. I mean, that's just how it always is. He always gets thrown in there. Yeah. And then obviously the option is if Harlan Bennett does a really good job as an interim, they may elevate him to the permanent role.
Yeah.
I really hope he does. It's terrible that this is the circumstances that he gets a shot as a head coach at.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope that he really succeeds in it. He really succeeds. Harlan Bennett, man, I have a lot of respect for you. I know you're in a rough spot, but I know you have the players' best interests at heart. I hope you coach I hope you coach your heart out, man, and you enjoy this while you have it, and that you are so successful that you get this job. That would be great to see.
Yeah, it's your time, man. It's your time. So, you gotta be ready. This is where you gotta either step up your game, and definitely have to. This is your time. There's no excuse.
Yep, exactly.
And be the role model and influence that those kids need.
Yep, that you have been so far. I mean, there's a reason you're universally beloved, man. So I guess this is our passionate plea for you. Dude, man, you got a chance. I hope you do well. We wish you the best, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. But next, kind of moving on, we got to talk about a little.
You throwing shade, bro? Are you throwing shade, bro?
I'm not throwing shade. That was
shade, bro.
There's some shade being thrown down in Colorado this weekend, man, at the Centennial Cup. Colorado State, University of Colorado in Boulder, brother. That was a lights out match. But the craziest thing is the lights that came on and flashed before the first snap was ever taken.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all saw.
I should have worn my blue collar shirt. It says Lakers on it.
Man, so if y'all didn't see it this week, Jay Norvell comes into a press conference. He's wearing a hat and shades, and it seems like he threw a dig at Deion Sanders, who's always wearing his trademark hat. He's always wearing his trademark blenders. By the way, I may or may have not ordered some Deion shades. He's got his own exclusive line with blenders I wear. They're not paying us to say this. These are actually Oakley's that I'm wearing right now. Oakley's also not paying me to wear these in the video.
Absolutely.
I would love if y'all did. But
that's cool. That's cool.
But anyway, Jay Norvell says, when I'm an adult, I take off my sunglasses and hat when I talk to someone. Oh, and let me just tell you, social media lit up, man. Oh, they took it.
You know what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
he knew what he was doing.
He knew exactly what he was doing. And as Deion said, now it's personal, baby. That's the thing. He said it's personal, and they took it hard. And so, I mean, the whole week they're taking this, they're going crazy. Everyone's elevating this. This is the first, Colorado State. It's a rivalry matchup. No one really pays attention to ever, man.
Well, Colorado State in the last 4 times they played, Colorado's dominated. So
exactly. Well, that's also Colorado was 1-11 last year.
Well, they didn't play last year.
No,
they didn't play. But it's every other.
They've been a terrible team for a decade or more.
Oh yeah, I know.
And
the only time they beat them was Colorado State.
Yep. Anyway, this is a matchup no one really has ever paid attention. No, it's not the marquee matchup most of it. But the comments that they have made, this is the highest viewed. This past weekend they released the stats. This is the highest viewed Pac-12 game for late night in the history of the Pac-12.
That's awesome. And it's going to be gone next year.
People stayed up until 1:30 a.m.
Are we talking about somebody? Is somebody here right now is talking right now that stayed at 1?
I was literally laying in bed like this over my phone, watching the game. And I just couldn't believe it. And as it ended, I'm just like, Dana.
Like, did she kill you? Did she kill you?
No, we were awake with the baby at that point.
Got it.
So, no, dude, it was great. I just loved it. It was a physical match. We'll talk about it a little more.
Yeah,
later.
Man. We'll talk about that game. We'll talk
about it. But one thing that happened in there is, so again, tons of shade, tons of smack talk being taken. In the warm-ups beforehand, they started talking with each other. They started, tussling a little bit verbally. That they're all clapping at each other and everything. And then get this. The swagger, the absolute swagger that Colorado walked out with Lil Wayne leading them out, man. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Dude, the absolute audacious swagger of that team is ridiculous. I love it so much. Oh, the swagger, the shades. And then too, Dion, as a dig back prior to the game, he bought his whole team his new line of shades.
Yeah.
The Blender Prime 21s that you can find on the online if y'all look at, which I may or may have not bought again.
Nice.
Anyway, there's a lot going on during that. But one thing that happened was this game had a lot of physical chippy play in it. And one of the biggest things that happened was a massive hit Travis Hunter, the two-way phenom, the two-way secondary wide receiver took from Henry Blackburn, who is a defensive back for Colorado State. Travis Hunter is now going to be out for 3 games with what appears to be a lacerated liver, Chris.
Oh,
yeah, that don't heal easy. But the crazier thing is that the Colorado State, it was a hard hit. Like it was.
That was the hard hit.
It was a hard hit. But the whole game was a physical game. I mean, you could see right here, just in my background, how much Travis Hunter is absolutely just collapsing from that hit by Blackburn. And
to be honest with you, we'll get there.
We'll get there, and we'll talk about it a little more. But the sad thing is that this player, Henry Blackburn, because of that hit, has now been receiving death threats and constant harassment. His whole family has been harassed, brother. Someone doxed him online, releasing their social media profiles, their personal phone numbers, their home addresses. People are sending him and his family.
So here's the thing. Football Field Pass, we do not condone that. We do not condone those things.
That is unsportsmanlike
I don't care if
behavior.
it's LSU, Alabama, Colorado State. I don't care who you are, what fan you are. You do not do that. We do not condone that. We do not support it. We do not think it's funny. We do not think it's great. We do not condone that. And I will post this clip on the next one, whatever we do, public service announcement. Stop.
Yeah, stop doxing players. These are kids. These are kids playing a game.
Growing up.
They're playing a game. And here's the big thing. This is why Deion Sanders is a man to respect. This is why his players are to respect. Deion came out and said, y'all need to stop that. He even told them they need to stop it. It was a football play. He was doing what he was supposed to do, and that's what he said. Jay Norvell, the head coach of Colorado State, said he was doing, and we've talked about that hit. That was not a sportsmanlike hit.
No,
Jay Norvell punished Blackburn for that already.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Y'all don't need to punish him. That's not your job. That's the coach's job.
No.
Furthermore,
and be a fan. And shut up.
Furthermore. Chris, did you hear Chris? Chris, say it one more time for me, brother.
Yeah, be a fan. Shut up.
Exactly. You're there to enjoy. You're there to enjoy.
Until you get a mic. Until you get a mic. Until you be respectful. Shut up.
Well, if they can go buy a mic on Amazon like we did.
That's true. That's true. And I'm pretty sure they'll get destroyed when they find it's always somebody behind that little trollness.
So. Exactly. But here's the thing. Like I said, Dion came out and said, y'all need to stop terrorizing this young man. He did what he was asked to do. He stepped up. Maybe it was dirty, maybe it wasn't. He doesn't care. He made a football play in a very physical, chippy game that already had a lot of hot and heated passion behind it. And then furthermore, this is, again, the absolute sportsmanship of this game. Travis Hunter, the guy who the hit was on, the guy who has a lacerated liver today in giraffe pajamas, by the way, came out on who he, and for those of you who don't know, Travis Hunter is a regular social media icon. He streams live on Twitch all the time, does Q&As, games on there. He appears on Destroying videos. Also, shout out to Destroying. D is awesome. If you don't follow him, go check him out. Does some of the sickest one-on-one videos out there. Best college tour videos, I think, too. But Travis Hunter came out today on his live stream, and this is exactly his quote, and said, "It's football at the end of the day. Stuff like that is going to happen. So I just stay humble." He, Colorado State safety Henry Blackburn, did what he was supposed to do. It's football. Something bad is going to happen on the field sooner or later. You've got to just get up and fight again. That's what I try to do, get up and fight. Good thing the doctors stopped me, because if there were no doctors there, I would have still been out there playing. But I'm thankful for everybody that helped me. These players and these coaches have obviously moved on. Y'all need to as well, too. Stop saying this kid death threats. Travis Hunter, I hope you feel better soon, man. I hope it's a speedy recovery. No other complications, man.
Hey, no offense, though. He was going to be a target.
Oh, I mean, he's one of their top players.
Him and Saunders were going to be a target, and
I mean, we'll get to that game. We're so excited about that game.
All right,
a lot of chippy football this weekend.
So, you have quarterback. You have quarterback trouble about Alabama. All right, here's the deal. Yeah. So this is going to be long. You gotta let me.
Yeah, I'll let you. Can I ask you a question first? Is this truly just QB play issue, or is it a total offensive issue?
Last week, we lost to Texas. Okay.
Oh, kind of set it.
And as we do this podcast, and I do all podcasts, I did Nerdy Cast, and I changed my view on some things, and that's what I love about these podcasts is you change your way of thinking and you grow, and that's what podcasters should do. For me, I have learned that whoever is under that center is who I'm going to support. If it's Tyler Simpson, if it's Buckner or Bucher, Buckner,
Milroe.
or Jalen Milroe, I'm going to support you. You're on my team. This is my team. This is my Alabama. So with that, it was just it was a chaotic craziness, and I liked what video you sent me with the guy from It's All Southern. Why did your game look like it was a security cam? I peed my pants because literally that game looked like it was a security cam. It was basically just horrific, but there was one thing. There's about three things, and this is why I changed my mind. When Jalen lost that game, he took extreme ownership.
Yep.
Number two, he for 7 minutes answered every question that the media gave him.
Yep.
And still stood with his head held high with adversity in front of him. Took responsibility. And at the end, in that game, he was still taking charge and being a leader to those guys. Because he knows his role.
Yep.
I recant that. Yes, the quarterback is the player, but whoever is under that center and whoever you're a fan of, you need to be, unless he's throwing 5 picks in one game every game, then we might have a problem.
Mm.
That might be he sucks, and we need to figure that out. But until then, support your damn player. And that's what we're going to do in Alabama. That's what we're going to do as an Alabama fan. We're going to support Jalen Milroy. And I support Jalen Milroy. I believe in Jalen Milroy, and that's why today he is going to be starting for the Alabama Crimson Tide this weekend
against Ole Miss.
I'm
proud of you, bro. This is some real guys. You're seeing some real growth. This is hard for an Alabama fan to just come out and say.
I think it's just been a roller coaster of fanhood that even Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We'll spring a little NFL in this. For the forever of me would say he's never going to win. He's never going to win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That's got to stop. He's going to be my guy. He's under that center. Unless, again, guys, if he's picking 6 picks, we might have a problem here.
Yeah.
But until then, if he's showing consistency, he's showing leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we want Texas to win.
Yeah.
Any SEC fan out there, if you're Tennessee, you're Florida, you're Ole Miss, if you lost to somebody outside the SEC or any SEC, you better hope you better hope they win. You keep winning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because that makes you look good.
Well, even SEC, soon to be SEC member Texas, you lost to.
Hey, stay out there in the window, Texas. You stay right there. You don't leave. I love that
Texas
video.
Is back, baby.
Yeah. We'll let you in next year.
The two videos I look forward to every week about the SEC are the SEC roundup Matt Mitchell does.
Mitchell, yep.
Go follow that dude. He's so funny.
He is hilarious.
Love that dude.
Love that dude.
He does all those great Bless Your Rank videos.
We gotta get him on this show. We gotta get him on this show.
I'm watching that. I'm gonna manifest that right now. Matt Mitchell, please come on our show. Talk about the SEC with us at Matt Mitchell. I'm gonna tag him. We're gonna make it happen. Hey fans, help us make that happen.
Absolutely.
The other one I look forward to is those SEC shorts. I don't know if you're watching any of those videos.
Yeah,
those are funny, man. Those are funny as well. But anyway,
but you asked, is there quarterback trouble, Bama? No, I don't think there's quarterback trouble.
So do you think? So then, do you think it's offensive coordinator? Maybe. Do you think it's?
So. Here's the thing with Alabama,
and
nobody wants to talk about this. And I've said this in preseason rankings. This is a rebuilding year.
I thought you guys rebuild.
Stop it. This is a rebuilding year. This is a year that we have to take a step back. If we get to a bowl game, if we get to the playoffs, okay, that's a Super Bowl. But here's the deal: this is an Alabama team who are trying to find identity. And Mr. Whatever Rosenbaum, whatever your name
Paul
is,
Feinbaum,
go find yourself. Please stop picking Alabama. Stop picking our SEC. And whoever listens to him, please stop listening to him. Because all he does, you ever watched The Natural?
Yeah.
You ever seen The Natural?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, of course.
He's that character, the Robert Duvall of the journalist.
Yeah.
That's Paul Feinbaum.
Yeah,
that's Paul Feinbaum.
Yeah, Paul Feinbaum.
Whatever.
People love him, but I'm not a fan of him either.
Not a fan.
I will say this though: the one thing that's looked rough with Bama so far this year for me is just the offense looks lackluster. It looks like it has no energy, and I think a lot of people may think that Tommy Rees is not as good of a coordinator as people thought. Maybe.
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's also the thing. So this is also another fandom thing. This is also another of a leadership support system. Something I have to preach to myself as a fan and as a leader. You gotta let them go through adversity. We lose another game. Lose another game. Do I think we're gonna win that championship? No. Do we think we're going to playoffs? Possibly. Do you think we're gonna win a bowl game? Yes. But with all that said, we haven't got to the SEC yet. And if we did,
you did technically with Texas.
So once you get to the heart of the SEC, and I'm sorry,
I
Texas,
mean-
you're not SEC yet.
I mean, the LSU Tigers got to the SEC this weekend.
Yeah, whatever. No, we don't
And
have
had
this.
2 of their players named to the players of the week
Get
from
out
the
of here.
FC, from the offense.
Get out of here, LSU. So I don't think there's a trouble in Alabama. I just think we got a rebuilding year, and I've said this in our preseason rankings, so that's documented. Totally fine. I think we're gonna be okay. To be honest, we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
We have to get through adversity.
It will be
Reese has got to
interesting
go through adversity.
Yeah, he
We
does,
have to
but-
find an identity. That defense doesn't have identity.
Yeah, and this is a brand new system for them this year. It's a brand new offense. It's a brand new system. They're going back to a different type of style of play than they're used to for the past 5-6 years.
Yep.
It's different. You go from Lane Kiffin with his dynamic, offense to Tommy Rees, who's a little more Midwest in his play. I mean, he called it Notre Dame. That's where he came from. He was offensive coordinator at Notre Dame before he got recruited away to Bama. It remains to be seen. But this kind of leads us into a general SEC question. We saw a lot of games this weekend where teams kind of struggled to get going in the SEC. I mean, except LSU. They were going the whole against the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Don't make me puke. Don't make me puke. I can't
wait.
When is our game? It's November, and it's November.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Should be November.
It's going to be November 4th.
November 4th. Yeah. You go.
It's at Bama this year. It's at Bama.
Yeah, you're going down. Anyway, what's your question? Let's move on.
Anyway,
we start trash.
Do you think for the SEC this has been early season sloppiness or legitimate play for them? Like, do you think this is just teams playing toughly against one another, or have the teams been really sloppy?
So something that has come to light, and we promote other podcasts. Listen, you listen to the podcast. You listen to ours. You don't listen to ours. Listen to somebody else. One that I do promote is great. Yeah, listen to ours. Greg McElroy's always college football. He said something that was definitely I need to look into more. Is that teams don't do 2-a-day practices, which is not 2-a-day practices, but they don't do practices in the week. So those offensive lines and those defensive lines are not getting the practice and getting gel well until week 5 or week 6.
Yep.
So I think you taking away some practice time, and I don't want to hear it. Listen, unless you're Allen Iverson, Bo Jackson, or anybody else,
practice.
Stop.
We talking about practice.
You know what? You know who was great in practice? Michael Jordan. You want to talk about? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here. And he took practice every day seriously.
Yeah.
So if you're not getting to practice in, you're not gelling, you're not molding, you're not minding. I think we're seeing what we're seeing right now with everybody, not just the SEC. Everybody. So.
Yep. There's some teams who are playing lights out right now and executing very well. I will say that there are some teams putting up some yards, like Washington, Oregon.
I think also those teams have been together for a while too, like Oregon, Washington. They have been together for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And same with Texas. Texas has a team that's
has been together for a little bit. Yeah,
exactly.
So,
the teams that are up there, USC. This is their second year together.
The only one team that I am surprised, but I think it's a little bit newer or semi-new, is Alabama's offensive line, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a little bit of a newest, semi-new,
new offense too.
Florida, we're looking at that too. Looking at Tennessee, South Carolina, even
Florida
Georgia.
Florida maybe starting to gel. I mean, Miami, same thing. That there's a lot of teams starting to gel in year 2, year 3. Year 4.
So
I mean, Michigan.
But if
State
if you're not getting that practice time, you're not gelling, you're not molding.
Exactly.
And then by week 5, week 6, what do you got? 2 losses already because you didn't have enough, or the practice teams are the ones that are not ranked and they're outside the rank.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's why you take those easy preseason. Anyway,
but the question is, are they doing it? And is that leading towards to what you just asked? Is it sloppiness or is it legitimate play?
I think it's both. Both and. It's legitimate play. It's what we expect. The teams that are more experienced together and know one another, they're going to play better. But anyway, that's that. I think I got to react about some stuff, buddy.
But you ready to do this? Oh, I'm so ready for this. Ratsky's reactions. What's got you grinding, buddy?
Oh man, what grinds my gears? So we started this segment on a fly last week, on a whim. I was going on rants.
Yeah, you were
telling people to calm down.
Yeah, you did.
I'm gonna say this again. Oklahoma State lost to Southern Alabama this past week. I've always had immense respect for Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State Cowboys, Mike Gundy. They've always been a hard team to beat, a fought team, but they lost to the University of Southern Alabama Jaguars. Y'all need to take a hard look in the mirror after that and wonder if y'all are done. What's up, buddy?
Who are they?
They're in the Fun Belt, bro. They're in the Fun Belt. Or
So don't feel bad about the HBC. I don't know who
you know who Oklahoma State is though.
I do know Oklahoma State, but
and that's the sad part. They lost to Oklahoma. They lost. Oklahoma State lost.
I know.
Bethune-Cookman, though, for those of you who haven't seen it, y'all gotta go check out the Ed Reed rant. Ed Reed was coaching them for a while until he came out and said they wouldn't give them the funding he needed to build the program because they wanted to coach. They wanted to coach Prime effect at Bethune, but they didn't want to invest Coach Prime type money. They expected Ed Reed to invest all the money. Side note on that. I like Bethune-Cookman. I like the folks. I love my HBCU schools, man. Y'all need to recognize Chris. You gotta get on that train too.
I'll pass.
Anyway, so South Alabama beat Oklahoma State. Another thing, y'all, I'm kind of getting on the Mizzou hype train. You know, Mizzou has continuously been one of the biggest punching bags of the SEC since they left the Big 12 to join us back in the 2000s. This past weekend, Mizzou at Foro Field and Memorial Stadium, as they call it, beats number 15 Kansas State on a 61-yard walk-off field goal from Harrison Mevis. Yes, great name for a kicker, who is 5'11", 243. That is the thickest kicker. That is a thick kick. A thicker kicker could have ever been.
You're just proud. You're just proud. And we're all proud for us thick people.
Us fluffy gentlemen. We are so proud when a thick guy goes out and wins for us thick guys. Proving that you don't need to be you have that six pack. You could have that six roll and you could still win a game against number 15 Kansas State. Now, here's the one thing I do want to say. Eli Drinkwitz, he has been Missouri's head coach for a few years now. The dude is recruiting at elite level. He's actually signed 2 5-stars to her current class for the upcoming year. Last year, he signed a bunch of 4-stars and 5-stars. This guy actually is the one who brought Appalachian State to prominence originally. So I really think that Missouri might be starting to turn a corner and moving towards the upper. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be the best team in the SEC, but moving towards that middle best tier. They are the new Mississippi State when they were under Dan Mullen, when they and Mike Leach. They're a team that and the Kentucky when they were good. Yeah. They're moving to that position where they're going to find that Columbia is not so easy of a cakewalk anymore to walk into. Mizzou's not so easy of a team to beat. I think Mizzou is starting to turn a corner. And they're going to continue to get better as Coach Drink continues to recruit good players, solid players, and put fat kickers out there, man. Put those 243-pound 5'11" kickers out there that can drill 61-yard walk-off field goals.
Do you remember Florida State Janikowski?
Yeah,
forever for us, Janikowski.
Yes, but anyway. I'm really happy that was a great win to see. If y'all didn't see that Mizzou game, that was a phenomenal game to watch. And then finally, I want to talk about this. Some Group of 5 talk. Miami, Ohio, of the MAC, little MAC shit. I'm a Midwest. Anyway, Group of 5 talk. Miami, Ohio upsets former Group of 5 darling Cincinnati. Cincinnati was the cream of the crop when Luke Fickell was coaching them. And they have been for the longest time. They've had a great string of coaches. Butch Jones. They've had Brian Kelly was their coach at one point. Luke Fickell, the most recent guy to jump into a major Power 5 role. However, is Cincy starting to kind of decline now that they're in the Big 12? They're no longer an American Athletic Conference team. They jumped over to the Big 12 where the competition's a bit tougher. But they lost to a MAC team, which is surprising. I really don't think that Cincy's going to be continuing to hold the crown as the Power 5 team. One team I do think that's slated to take that over is Tulane. I love what I see out of Willie Fritz's team. He gets the most out of his players. They're in the American, the next step right below those Power 5 teams. But I think Tulane has a lot of promise. I think Michael Pratt is one of the best QBs that no one's talking about. And I see Tulane being one of those teams that comes in and shows up at the end of the year in one of those New Year's bowls. Basically, I don't think they're going to the playoff like Cincinnati did, but I think they're going to come into one of those New Year's bowls and upset a really good Power 5 conference team. And there's a bunch of other teams to consider too. Toledo's been really great out of the MAC. Out of the Mountain West Conference, I loved what I saw at Colorado State this weekend, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And I also been liking what I've been seeing out of Texas State down in the Sun Belt, Fun Belt. But anyway, man, that's some of my reactions this week. I got some things, that definitely were interesting. I wanted to make sure we talked about, just briefly. So, but anyway, man, let's move on to some matches. Let's move on to some games.
I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, not as intense as the first
Last week.
Last week.
I'm not as hyped up. I have a newborn.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense to me. That makes more sense to me now.
I'm tired, bro. Give a brother a break.
You gotta bring it every show, man. People want it.
I'll just do some some straight adrenaline, mainline it, hype myself up, run through a brick wall.
Yeah, don't do that because we need you. Dana needs you. And we all need you.
Yes. That's it for Rasky's reactions this week.
Gridiron.
The Gridiron.
First game.
You saving that late night game for the late night talk here tonight, huh?
Yes, I am. Let's go with Tennessee versus Florida.
We got that swamp voodoo, man. It's that swamp voodoo. That's what the Tennessee fans have been saying. It's that swamp voodoo. They go into the swamp and they lose. Tennessee has notoriously been bad at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, otherwise known as the Swamp at University of Florida in Gainesville. This game shocked a lot of folks. No one really expected Florida to take home the win.
No.
Florida ended up beating them in this match. And this is a massive rivalry game, by the way. Florida ended up dominating them in the second quarter by scoring 20 unanswered points. They won the game 29-16, and their defense allowed no more than 7 points a quarter. That's some good defense. But as any rivalry game does, they got a little chippy towards the end, man.
What do you mean?
This. So but at the end, people were getting frustrated. Tennessee players were obviously frustrated. What happened is that Florida got the ball. They get the first down to be able to run out the clock. They take a knee. They're going to run out the clock. Tennessee gets petty. They call a timeout. So, okay, what's Florida going to do is they're going to do a design QB drop back and just kind of waste clock, and he'll drop down the knee. He goes down to the knee, and a Tennessee player clocks him and spears him. Completely just spears him. So anyway, people get chippy. People start fighting. Joe Milton, the QB, squares up with this thick mother right here. Look at the size comparison between it. Joe Milton, starting quarterback for Tennessee, squares up with one of the defensive linemen for the University of Florida. That dude,
obviously,
he eats. He can eat him. But also, for those of you listening to the audio version, you are missing this exquisite play-by-play breakdown that I'm giving you.
Obviously, Milton did not think of current events at that moment of time.
No, he did not.
He could eat him.
He could have. But either way,
what did you think about that clearing benches? I mean,
I think first and foremost, rivalry games are always heated. I'm happy to see so many great rivalry games this past weekend.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee came in a little kind of cocky.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee came in like Florida did to Utah in week 1.
I think so too.
Yeah, and they came in saying like, "Oh, we gonna win this one. This is gonna be such an easy game. We gonna make this big old stadium be quiet."
Yep.
I think they thought this was going to be an easier game, but I think Billy Napier, he's a good coach. He's an Alabama coaching tree product. He coached under Nick Saban. He was really successful at Louisiana Lafayette before he got hired over to Florida. I really think he's got a plan. I think it's starting to show through in instances. And so I think this is the year it breaks out. But I think he gets another year as long as he continues to win big games like this, to win the rivalry games or keep them close. Yeah. So I think this is a good turning point for Florida. Florida looked good offensively. They looked very polished, where at times Tennessee looked frantic. That was, I would think, the one word to describe the Tennessee offense was frantic. They looked like they were trying to make anything and everything happen, and they couldn't. Mm-hmm. So, anywho, I'm really happy to see Florida do this. It stinks. I hate to say this as an LSU fan, and I'm sure it does as a Bama fan. But you hurt when fan bases are hurting for so long, and especially for these kids who put in the work, these players that put in all this hard work. No matter who you play for, at the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game we're talking about here. To see them turn a corner and have this kind of statement win on their resume, to have this statement kind of game, on here where they were able to do some really big things. The name that really didn't get talked about there, man, and I think more people need to talk about is the younger brother of NFL running back. Of NFL running back. That's actually a different game. Sorry, my bad, man. That's a Tennessee. There we go. Travis Etienne's younger brother, Trevor Etienne. He rushed for 172 yards. That means he on 23 carries. He was averaging 7.5 yards per carry during the game. And he had one touchdown to his name. The rushing game is what won it for them. They outrushed him. And Graham Mertz was okay through the air. I mean, he was 166 yards passing of 19 of 24 for one touchdown.
Yeah. Well, just looking at this game from the outside, Florida dominated.
Mm-hmm. The defense is what won that game.
Florida dominated. Florida did most of their points in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And Tennessee could not score.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this was a domination where Tennessee was just getting frustrated all the way to the end.
Yep, all the way to the end. And then, obviously, they got super frustrated and petty, and this ensued. So,
obviously, you don't want to see that. And obviously, they need to be...
There's going to be some fines and penalizations, I'm sure. Fines on schools for this, I think, have already been handed down. And they're deciding the fates of these two players. I think both of them will have to sit the next game.
I would agree with that.
Joe Milton's the bigger loss, though.
Joe is a huge Milton. Yeah. And you're a leader. You're a leader. You should be better.
He's the starting QB. He is a phenomenally talented quarterback. This is not the behavior of a captain.
No. And you need to be, you have to go through mistakes and adversity. So
absolutely. But anyway, let's move on, brother. We're gonna make them wait.
Florida State versus Boston College.
Oh, this is a close game.
The first two quarters were great.
They were phenomenal. Then it got chippy. But first and foremost, Boston College was playing their annual red bandana game this week. Chris, do you know the red bandana story?
No, explain it.
So Boston College, they had a player named Wells. Was his first name? Can't remember what his last name was. And if you looked on the back of all their jerseys this past week, it said "For Wells." Every year they do this thing called the Red Bandana Game, where they do special jerseys to honor this Boston College football player who was a graduate, who actually was a New York City firefighter the day the Twin Towers were hit on 9/11. Mm-hmm. He was known as this red bandana guy. That was his signature thing. He always had the red bandana. He actually was off duty that day. And what he did, though, was he put this red bandana that they knew who he was because he was the red bandana dude. He put this on to kind of protect himself from smoke and fire. And he consistently helped evacuate a ton of people, saved a bunch of lives that day, ended up losing his own life when the towers fell, but ended up being a true hero and saving and rescuing a lot of lives. So every year they honor him with the red bandana game, and they come out with those sick unis where the numbers are the red bandana. They have the side, they handed them out to the players. They do a workout during the week called the Red Bandana Workout to honor Wells. It's a really cool tradition for a program that's not really talked about a lot. I love this. It's a cool, respectful thing, but props to Boston College for honoring an American hero.
Yeah. Totally.
But otherwise, they also came, kind of with that honoring Wells, they came out with a lot of fight this week. Boston College.
They did.
Boston College took it to one of the best college football teams in the country this past year. Florida State. I'm on the Florida State hype train. I think Jordan Travis is one of the most exciting QBs in college football. I think he's got phenomenal weapons, especially in Keon Coleman and Jaheim Bell. I think their defense with Jared Verse is absolutely that defensive line is scary, brother. Through basically most of the game, Boston College held tight. They were holding so tight towards the end. They almost won this game and came back to win it.
Yep.
But there was an offensive line breakdown in stats. So Boston College, really what they did is they didn't have any special things. They weren't really moving the ball particularly effectively. What they did is they won in the explosive plays category. They had consistent explosive plays against Florida State's defense. And recently that's kind of been Florida State's MO, where they don't dominate, but Boston College kind of took that and flipped that upside down. And they had a whopping 13 explosive plays, which put them in the 99th percentile of the country last week, more than one in every 6 plays, where FSU just had 3 explosive plays in total. Even worse, many of Boston College's explosive plays came on critical passing downs. So usually it was on 3rd and long. So like they had a 2nd and 12 where it was a pass for 35 yards. They had 3rd and 17 where it was a pass for 52 yards. They had a 3rd and 20 that was a pass for 28 yards. They gave up a QB run on 3rd and 14 for 45 yards. I mean, that's just some of them. Those situational plays accounted for 248 yards of total offense just from those situational plays. Those explosive plays for BC, and accounted for 348 of the Boston College Eagles' total 457 yards at a 29-yard per play clip. That's crazy. Yeah, and then on the other 63 plays, they only managed 1.7 yards per play. So explosive plays were what really won the game for Boston, or not won the game, but brought them within winning the game.
Absolutely,
for Florida State. Florida State, they got a little scary there. Jordan Travis went down in the 2nd or 3rd quarter with the injury. He came back. Thank goodness he's healthy. Continues that little Heisman run he's on. But from a stat perspective, man, it looked like Florida State should have easily walked away with this.
Watching the first 2-3 quarters of this game, you can see Boston College slipping away with it to this game. But Boston College came out dominating. And leading up to the half, it was only a 17-10 game. And they just couldn't stop the 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
If defense just stepped up a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, this is only a 2-point game.
Yeah.
It's only a 2-point game.
Well, check out, I mean, I don't know. Did you see their 4th down efficiency on this game, man? They converted 4 of 5 4th downs, Boston College.
Here's the thing. I think everybody does a conversion of 4. There is no punt team anymore. I think it all started. Go
talk to PJ Fleck, bro. Go talk to PJ Fleck.
The Eagles don't even. I don't even know they have a punter, because every time Eagles, I know they do, but teams are now starting to just the fourth down is another down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depending on where they're at in the position of the field and where they're at. And if it's high, then that Florida State team came in being a little bit more cocky than they should. Whereas Boston College really good as they are.
Boston College still punted 5 times. I'm just going to say.
Because they strategized that team, that game, and they strategized well.
And overall,
I honestly thought they were going to upset them.
I did too. And overall, they controlled possession. They ran 75 total plays compared to 58 plays that Florida State won. Florida State also had poor ball security. They lost 2 fumbles. It was overall, I mean, they dominated on the explosive plays. Really, that was what really for me allowed Boston College to hang so close. But I thought this was such a thrilling game, and we couldn't pass up talking about that, man.
No, it was good. I enjoyed it. I wish it was just a loss for Seminoles.
I do too, don't we all? And hey, it helps these guys a little more get closer to a one-loss playoff team.
Oh God. Speaking of shades,
let me throw on my shade game.
Our game of the weekend.
It ain't hard to find unless you're staying up late or you can't stay up late and fall asleep.
A game of the weekend.
Oh man,
Colorado versus
for all
Colorado
you East
State.
Coasters, you would have been up to 2:30 a.m. watching this.
Absolutely.
Yep, I was up to 1:30 a.m. Central Time watching this. Man, this was Colorado State opened as 24-point underdogs onto this game. I did not expect this game to be as intense and close as it was.
Let's be honest here. It didn't start until overtime. It didn't start to 2 minutes left in this game.
Well, Colorado did. Colorado State came to play.
Colorado State came to play. No. This game did not start until 2 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Colorado State, I don't understand why they let it go. Because in the last 2 minutes of this game, they went down, scored a touchdown,
mistakes.
And 2-point conversion.
Mistakes. Colorado State made mistakes. Colorado mistakes.
No, Colorado did not make mistakes. Colorado State did not make mistakes. If they made mistakes, fine.
Colorado State,
Colorado.
No, I'm
strategically. I mean, you could have called Shiloh Sanders a freaking Joe Montana. Shador Sanders.
Shiloh's the DB.
Shiloh's the DB. Shador. Freaking Joe Montana. Drove that drive.
99 yards.
99 yards.
Sorry, 98.
Yes. Yeah. It was a 98. Okay, we can make it more. Want to make it more? Yeah, I mean, that's how legends are made. They just add more stuff. How
legends are made.
99 yards. And he probably said, "Hey, Lil Wayne's over there. He's on our side." You know,
Rick Ross is over there.
The Rock. Colorado State, if they made one mistake, is they let 99 yards of Colorado going down to win that game.
They had
or just letting them score to tie the game.
Here's what happened.
The game started. The
game was going on. No, here's what I'm saying. The game was going on through all four quarters. It just wasn't in Colorado's favor. Colorado State was playing a good physical game. They made Shador work. They realized
they did.
The one thing they had to do, the two things they had to do on offense, they had to get off after Shador and force him to make bad passes. Their defensive line, what was his name? I completely forgot his name. He had so many sacks.
He had one on Shador because
he had a couple on Shador.
Yeah, but I think there's one that he got away from. He got used to was his ankle. He got him the first time in his ankle. He almost got him again in his ankle again, but Shador he flew right by it.
Yeah, well, so no, I mean that's on that 99-yard drive. I'm talking about the whole game up until those last 2 minutes. You're talking about those last 2 minutes. I'm talking about the whole game. For the whole game,
Colorado State kept them where they should. Watching this whole game, Colorado State. Now, let's don't get me wrong here. Colorado came out as much as Colorado State did, like jabbing.
Oh yeah,
knocking out Travis Hunter. Almost knocking out all their players. Colorado being physical. That 80-yard pick. God, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful pick. If you can't tell me right now that was a beautiful interception by Colorado, I'm leaving this podcast.
It was a beautiful pick.
Say it's a beautiful pick. Oh my God, it's a beautiful pick.
In the words of the announcer, he was stunting like his daddy.
Oh my God.
But here's what I'm going to say, though. And I want to say this. I don't think you're giving enough props to the Colorado State team through those first four quarters.
I think they held them. I think they held them the way they should. Mm-hmm. You know what? I would give them more props if they didn't let them go 99 yards.
Okay, I know you would. But here's what happened. In that final drive, that 99-8-yard drive, Colorado State made a lot of penalty mistakes. They were penalized a lot. That is why Colorado State lost the game. is on penalties. They had 164 yards worth of penalties against them on Saturday night. And that's where they lost him. But I will say this: Muhammad Kamara was his name, Mo Kamara. The dude absolutely terrorized.
He did.
Terrorized Shedeur the whole game. And I'm pulling up his stats right now, but he was absolutely, he had so many QB pressures on Shedeur that he was the force. And what happened in overtime is he was still playing great. But remember, I don't know if you saw that tackle he made where his head went up off the face mask.
Yeah.
Do you think that was targeting? I don't think
he put him on the ground pretty bad.
He put him on the ground, but he went like this. He didn't launch it with his helmet.
He did
leave with the helmet. He did not leave with the helmet. I don't think he let.
I saw it. He
went like this.
And he went right down to the ground with his helmet.
Where are you going to go when you tackle someone? Are you supposed to
listen? Are you? I'm Colorado on this game, and I don't care how many mistakes Colorado State. Colorado beat them with that 99. I don't care how many mistakes. No, you made mistakes. You lost that game. Colorado won that game. 99 yards going down. That's what big players make big time plays. Big time players make big time plays. You can't handle that. I don't care if they make mistakes. Big time players make big time plays.
I hear you.
I hear you. Made big time plays. 80-yard pick.
He made a big time drive.
Big time drive too, man.
That's what I'm saying. The drive, that 99-yard drive.
I don't care if they made mistakes.
Okay,
big time players.
Chris, listen, buddy. I love Colorado. However,
no, you don't.
No, I love Colorado. I do. I love Coach Prime. I think he is he self-proclaimed himself the best coach in college football. I think he is right now the best coach in college football because he's doing something that no one else is doing. He is creating one of the greatest turnarounds in a season. However, it is.
Really?
He's the first coach to win his first 3 games after a 1-11 campaign the prior year.
Bro, that's bold.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying what he's doing.
I'm not that bold, but wow, man.
But here's what I'm saying. He is the first coach after his team the prior year went 1-11 to win his first 3 games. That's something no one's ever done.
I agree.
That's powerful. However, I don't think Colorado should have let Colorado State hang this close with them.
Be honest with you, I think both teams were sloppy.
And that's what scares me. I think a lot of people need to realize next week is when it gets real for Colorado. They play Oregon.
But we'll get to that point.
Well, we're going to get to that step.
We'll get to that point.
What I want to say is this game was an insane old school rivalry matchup that was immensely closer than anyone expected. Like I said, Colorado State opened up as 24-point underdogs against them. So to win and to lose in double overtime is still a massive step forward for a Colorado State program. Because they're rebuilding just as
Colorado
is. I think Shedeur Sanders, that 98-yard scoring drive, the game, that was the play. But the real thing was when they found that seam route, the tight end Harrison, and they kept going back to it. They had 3 consecutive scoring plays on that in overtime to Harrison.
Yeah,
that was the key.
They capitalized it. They
found that tight end seam.
Yeah.
With the out dig and then back in towards
the
post.
I'm gonna get you on this, man. This is what we were saying before. You can't take away that 99 yards. I don't give a
you can't take
rats.
No,
if Colorado State made mistakes, you cannot take it away. Because again, big time players make big time plays.
But how many penalties also did Colorado State
make? Don't care. Big time plays.
They had 2 penalties against them, or 2 or 3 penalties against them.
That's almost like saying Florida State and Miami. Are you the field goal? It's going to be wide left or wide right. Oh, it's because of the wind and because of the kicker and everything and the whole placement and bruh.
Colorado's
99 yards.
Colorado
99 yards.
Colorado is about 10 or 15 to 20 of those yards came on penalties from Colorado.
Don't care. Then that's their fault, and he still capitalized.
I agree.
And he won that game.
No, I'm not trying to take anything away from Shedeur Sanders here, man. I'm not trying to take anything away from Shedeur Sanders.
You are.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying, though, is here's the thing that we need to realize. Both teams, like you said this, and I'm quoting you, both teams played sloppy.
Yeah, they did play sloppy. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're looking at both teams like this, it's fairly like sloppy. And surprising enough that, again, this is why I say big time players make big time plays. When you're playing a sloppy game the way it is and you're in it, you're gonna have to find a way to win. And he found a way to win, even at double overtime.
Double overtime. And see, I think Shedeur Sanders in double overtime was the more impressive performance than that 98-yard drive.
Yeah, but if he didn't get the 98-yard drive, then we wouldn't have a double overtime.
I'm still saying though, that double overtime performance, the way he just brought it together and locked in double overtime, that was where he should have been all game. That's where he should.
But again, if you don't have the 98-yard drive, you ain't gonna have that double overtime.
Gosh,
you ain't gonna have that 98.
Shut up about the 98-yard drive. But I will say this is really great. This is a cool stat. With Colorado's win in double overtime, this is Colorado's 4th largest comeback since 2005.
Who was that against?
I don't know, but it ranks 4th in history of largest comebacks since 05. So because they were down.
We gotta look that up.
I will. I'll look into that. Overall though, in all reality, it was crazy. Colorado State looked like they were going to walk away until that 4th quarter with it, and they came back and scored those 200. Yeah, I mean, Colorado. I mean, to think about this, where Colorado State passed for 368. I mean, I don't know if you saw it. All those under crossing routes that they kept hitting, like Colorado State couldn't stop them, or University of Colorado couldn't stop the under routes that Colorado State kept throwing. Colorado State kept going back to the same route time and time. And those cross dig routes, and they absolutely destroyed Colorado Buffaloes on that. And so again, it was crazy to see. It was a good game. I thought it was a really old school style matchup.
I agree.
Coach Prime and Coach Norvell both had a lot of respect for each other afterwards. They both wished each other the best, even after all the trash talking. I think they were like, "Hey, this is just football. That's what we do." Yep. So I thought it was great for the sport of football. I thought it was great for the late night West Coast games. I think it's going to bring a lot more attention to that. So
I agree. I agree. I think my final note is
I know exactly what he was about to say.
Big time players. All right. So that was it. I agree. Congrats to Colorado State and Colorado. Congrats because you got those players, those teams, what make college football fantastic.
Exactly. And it's going to be interesting to see how Colorado goes forward, which we will talk about in a little bit. But it'll be interesting to see what happens come up here in the next few weeks for Colorado, as they have quite a few difficult matches on their matchups on their schedule. Right. Absolutely, man.
Gridiron Player of the Week.
Oh, this is a hard one for me this week, man. This is a hard one for me. You know why?
Why?
I have 2 players. I'm struggling between picking them.
Still struggling with 2 players, yeah.
I'm still struggling with 2 players. Well, one is because I'm a real big fan of Michael Penix Jr. I don't know if you know this, but the dude is averaging around 450 yards passing a game. He currently has 12 touchdowns to his name. He's passed for a total of 1,332 yards so far this year. With a completion percentage of 74.3%. He has a 206.6 QB rating. Michael Penix Jr. is one of my players of the week because he consistently throws up half century of yards almost every single week he's played so far. Now, mind you, he did this against some not top notch teams, but teams are not pretty stout. I mean, Michigan State, no defense they can walk over. Boise State's a really solid group of 5 team. Tulsa, they're all right. The real one for him will be see if he can continue to get that against Oregon in October 14th. That's going to be a first real test to see if Michael Penix is really the Heisman contender many believe him to be. Right now, I think I have him second in my Heisman poll. If he's able to throw up another 400 plus yards on Oregon, he's easily going to be my top candidate for the Heisman Trophy in the world. But you know me, I like my group of 5 players. I love the lower tier FBS conferences. I love FCS football. I have a gentleman named George Larvadane, Louisiana boy. He has been throwing up some insane stats so far this year. This is the same. He plays for Miami, Ohio, not the U, but the other Miami, the one up in the Silicon Prairie, as they called in the office, Miami, Ohio, Oxford, Ohio. The dude has 449 total yards so far this season, and has been averaging 24.9 yards per catch on 18 receptions. That's some insane stats, bro. I mean, he put up against Miami, even Miami's a stout defense. He still put up 80 yards receiving against them. That's good.
All right.
Against a Power 5 team like them.
All right.
Against
pick
UMass.
One. You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one.
Okay.
You can't pick two. You gotta pick one, man. It's Gridiron Players of the Week.
I know. And
one
player of the week for each of us.
Player of the week. Fair.
There's one slot I gotta fill. I love you, George. You're a Donaldson boy. You're right over here across the river from me. I just want to give you a little shout out and give you a lot of props for the effort you're turning in, but I gotta go with Michael Penix Jr. again. Michael Penix Jr., man, has been lights out to start this season.
I agree with you. Certainly, I can't wait for the bigger games, which we'll get into. Shedeur Sanders.
How did I know? I thought, why don't you do Shiloh? Why don't you throw Shiloh up there? No, go with Shiloh. 80-yard interception.
No, I'm Shedeur. Nope. That's my player of the week, man. That's a fantastic drive. Fantastic.
That's like the second week in a row, I think, for you.
No, I didn't pick up. Yeah, I did. All right, man. Final thoughts. We got a big week coming up. What you got?
Oh my gosh!
Pick your
so many
team.
games to watch.
There are so many games, but here's one. And
I'm gonna tell y'all who are the big games we have coming up this week.
Yep.
Before we start picking our games, we've got Colorado versus Oregon.
Yep.
That I think that this is Colorado's test here to see if they are who they say they are. Yep. Oregon is been putting up unreal numbers, just like WashU has. I don't know if Colorado's defense is going to be ready for it, but I'm pretty sure their offense is going to be ready for it. We've got Ole Miss against Bama. That's going to be. I think this we had a different Jalen Milroe we see this week. I think they're going to come back with a chip on their shoulder, and Ole Miss is going to come in trying to win at Bama for the first time in a long time. We've got UCLA versus Utah, a sneaky good Pac-12 matchup. Here's one of mine for a sneaky good matchups as well. Oregon State versus Washington State. Wazoo has one of the best under-the-radar quarterbacks in the country in Cameron Ward. He was amazing at Immaculate Word when he a couple years ago he came to Wazoo. Has been lights out since he came there. I think he's one of the most talented and underrated quarterbacks in the country, and people don't give him enough props because he's playing in the Pac-12 and no one sees him play at midnight.
Yeah.
So, but Oregon State versus Washington State, that's going to be a very good game. Penn State versus Iowa, we got that going on. We got Ohio State versus Notre Dame. I think we got some great games. I know exactly that we're gonna watch that Colorado Oregon game. I think that's going to be one of those games we definitely have to watch.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to watch that?
No. We're going to watch it, obviously. But no. What did I say about Notre Dame? What did I say about
when they play Ohio State? When they play Ohio State, this is going to decide who the real team of the two is.
This is my game of the weekend.
So you're going
Ohio State.
Notre Dame. All right, I'm marking this down. I'm writing that Chris Lakis is willingly watching an Ohio State game.
Yes.
Because he does not like Ohio State. He is pulling for Notre Dame, even though he doesn't like Notre Dame.
I don't like any of them. Let's just be honest here. Yeah, not so fast, my friend. I don't like sweetheart. I don't like any of them. What's our toss up? Though?
So I think Colorado Oregon is the one we both want to watch.
Yeah, I do too.
And then I'm gonna say for me, it's between Washington State, Oregon State, or Penn State, Iowa.
You pick one, man. You're killing me, man. You're killing me.
You're asking on the spot decisions for a very measured individual. I'm gonna go outside the box. I'm gonna keep in the Pac-12. You know what? I'm gonna keep in the Pac-12 and go Oregon State, Washington State.
That's a good pick.
Yep, I'm gonna go there. I think Wazoo, and I think here's my prediction. I think Wazoo wins it.
Really upset, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I think Cameron Ward puts up 310 yards passing with 2 touchdowns.
What do you, as my final thought in our games this week, what do you think about Texas Baylor?
I think it's going to be a rout. I think Texas is going to absolutely destroy Baylor, honestly. I think that's going to be one of those games that people are like, oh, that may be something. No, it's not going to be anything. That's one of those games where I'm just like not impressed in any way by that matchup. I know they're putting it on ABC just because it's an in-state rivalry. I don't think it's that big of a deal personally.
Right. I agree.
And I think there's a I think there's some really good other games coming on. I think Missouri is going to probably dominate the heck out. The Missouri and Memphis are playing the Tiger matchup. They're playing that actually in St. Louis, so it's a neutral site game technically. That's going to be a cool one to watch. I want to see if Missouri continues its ways. I think Tulane is going to absolutely destroy Nicholls State in this non-conference matchup. I think Tulane keeps rolling. Texas State, they've actually got a semi-tough matchup against Nevada. LSU plays Arkansas this week. They're going to continue, hopefully, to put up another 50 points. Yeah, man. I think there's some really good games out there this week, but I think with the ones we picked are going to be the best of the bunch.
I agree.
Yep.
All right, man. I'm tired. I'm done. This is it.
I know.
I'm ready for next week.
This goose is cooked. This is the end of the new format, bro, for us.
Bro, I love that. I love that. I love that talk. Colorado State. We gotta get some more on that, man. Put some barbecue sauce on that thing, man. That's awesome.
Oh, dude,
yeah, they...
They're freaking good, bro. No, I love Colorado. I love what they're doing there, man. But again, we gonna see. As Deanna said, we gonna show up and we're gonna show out.
Yep.
And that's what we're trying to do here at Football Field Pass. We're showing up. We're trying to show out. We're trying to give y'all what you want. We listen to y'all. This is the first full only college football podcast we've ever done.
Yep.
As an episode. So
which we're very excited for.
Exactly. Very excited for. And we ask, we said earlier, remember, you got to comment on here with your favorite college football team. You got to like, you got to subscribe. You got to go follow us on social. Give us some love on there. And then you can get a sweet, sweet hat with this beautiful logo up here.
Man.
It's a beautiful logo.
It's a beautiful logo.
You have till December 25th to do it. And if you
25th.
miss out, you miss out.
You miss out.
And other people are going to be able to get the hat. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry, guys. So we love y'all. We're so grateful for y'all. Chris, I mean, what else do you want to tell these fine people who listen to us?
I got nothing. Let's end it. Let's end this and go home. Let's end this and go home.
Thank you, everyone.
Sure, Bob, and get your kebabs and
head down here.
Head down here.
Subscribe, hit the like.
Yep.
Comment.
Give
some love.
Love. That's all I got, guys. So do what he just said. Just do it faster. Guys, we'll meet again on the Football Field Pass.
Gridiron. See y'all next week, everybody.
Kevin here. On behalf of Chris and myself, we want to thank you so much for watching this episode of Football Field Pass. In between episodes, we encourage you to head over to our website, footballfieldpass.com, for more exclusive content like blogs and more. We also encourage you to follow us on social media and get into the conversation there and let us know what you want to hear about. We can't wait to see you next week on another episode of Football Field Pass.